All protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. The Corporate Update Gala Dinner is one of BMF flagship events which we use as a platform to update corporate South Africa on the achievements we have made as well as communicate our imminent plans. Our theme of 40 years of changing the transformation landscape embodies the BMF's journey over the past 40 years. We have been the leading voice that champions the plight of Black managers within organizations. It encapsulates the revolution we have effected for Black managers within corporate South Africa with a view to changing the social and economic patterns in the country. In line with our mandate, our core focus on the triple BE elements is employment equity, management control, and skills development. Our ideal is to have a corporate South Africa that is reflective of the South African demographics. Under the current presidency, we have been aggressively advocating for change in the top management structures of companies. We have, to this end, extensively engaged various companies to have this important conversation in order to understand their succession planning with a view to lending assistance as they embark upon this critical process. We are worried, ladies and gentlemen, that corporate South Africa continues to train and develop the overrepresented race grouping, which in this case is the white males. And as the BMF, we are deeply disappointed about this undesirable trend. So we actually aim to continue to strongly pronounce on these issues going forward. The key mandate of the BMF remains to be the development of managerial leadership primarily amongst Black people. For this financial year, we have unlocked opportunities for our members worth 3.2 million through partnerships with various institutions. Among others, we had a student leadership program powered by South African breweries. This was aimed at developing and harnessing the leadership and management talent of university students. Standard Bank sponsored a management program for our members through GIPS in aiding the development agenda of the BMF. And for that, Mr. Shabalala, we are eternally grateful. Duke Corporate Education remains our partner and we remain eternally grateful for their support. Shamla Chetty has been very supportive of the BMF. I've been with this organization for 7 years now, and I think for the past 10 years, Duke has been consistently supporting the BMF and our mandate. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Duke is the #1 business school in the world, and they've partnered with us for more than 10 years. Their partnership over the years has been worth more than 3 million rands. And it is through corporates like yourselves that we can continue to further our mandate of developing managerial leadership. As a thought leadership organization, we undertook the Transformation Barometer study aimed at measuring the transformation landscape to ascertain the deterrence for transformation. And we did this with a view to providing a solution to government on the interventions to be implemented to accelerate transformation once and for all. And this solution that we're going to be providing to government, we are calling the Transformation Master Plan. We'll be unveiling this at our annual conference in October 2016. The BMF, ladies and gentlemen, is deeply concerned about the apparent reversal in the transformation gains that we have observed over the past few years in the top echelons of corporate South Africa. We have, in the past 3 years, witnessed a phenomenon where the CEOs of the top 40 JSE-listed companies have declined from 15% in 2012 to 10% in 2015. And we have, to this extent, as the BMF board, commissioned a study which aims to look at the succession plans of the top 40 JSE-listed companies with the aim of putting to an end this unwelcome development. We also weighed in on the minimum wage debate, and we presented a paper to Parliament for their consideration. The BMF took a resolution to have a structure aimed at young professionals who have completed their tertiary education and are getting into the world of work to help them understand the dynamics within corporates. And I think this is exactly what the president was referring to, which is the hashtag generation and the student chapters that are going to be entering corporate South Africa. So we hope that when they do enter corporate South Africa, you will be ready for them. Because I'm sure they'll be advocating for these issues on a much more rigorous basis than what we're actually doing. So President, you and I are actually very nice. So corporate South Africa is lucky to have us because, you know, we are older, so we understand these things. So in pursuing this vision, the BMF has developed a young professionals development program through which we aim to equip our young professionals with the requisite skills so they can lead the much required change within the corporate corridors. Another initiative we have in this category is the Enterprise Development Summit, sponsored by Old Mutual. And the focus of the summit is to form partnerships to support and shape startups. And this is where, Mrs. Mtetwa, you are going to be coming in and you are being very helpful in advancing this agenda as the NEF. And for that, we thank you. The purpose of the student chapters is to help bridge the gap between theory and practice, as well as psychologically prepare our students for life post their tertiary studies. Some of the existing programs we have are the employability seminars, career development, work readiness programs, and the financial literacy programs. Our student chapter membership is over 1,500 students and is represented in 35 out of the 42 institutions of higher learning in the country. In 2014, the BMF started a gender desk, and the name has since evolved to the BMF Gender Equity Catalysts. I think that definitely deserves a clap. It's about time we more actively advocate for gender transformation. It's totally unacceptable that in corporate South Africa today, when you have more women who are qualified and who are skilled, and you walk into boardrooms, you see less women, and especially Black African women. So when corporate South Africa is looking for a woman leader, they are likely to appoint a white female. So as Black females, Black African females and colored African females were actually at the bottom of the ladder. So we are damned both ways, because then we suffer the race issue and we suffer the gender issue as Black African females. And by the way, Black leaders in the room, especially women, it is inherent upon you to push the women agenda when you are sent to these positions, and we should not be apologetic about it, by the way. Because as women leaders, we are as capable, if not more, than the men. So there is absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be given opportunities by corporate South Africa. So through the BMF Gender Equity Catalysts, we aim to cultivate a gender equity culture for inclusive managerial leadership within BMF and corporate South Africa. The intention is to champion issues affecting women leaders within corporate South Africa and how the environment can be further cultivated. The themes we aim to tackle, amongst others, are how we can make the corporate cultures and policies more flexible, and how we can challenge the issue of patriarchy in the workplace and in our society in general. We continue to be financially solid as an organization, and we remain sustainable. In this financial year, we have posted a 19% increase in surplus. We have also managed to grow our investment and balance sheet by 83% and 5% respectively. Our investment vehicle, the Black Management Forum Investments, was set up in 1997 with the intention of ensuring the continuity and prosperity of the BMF's mandate. In 2008, the BMF also took part in the Sasolinzalo Black Economic Empowerment 10-year investment scheme with an equity value of 75 million. So, Sis Nolita, we're hoping that in 2 years we'll be getting the 75 million check. I'm sure you'll make it possible. In 2012, the BMF added onto its balance sheet this 15 million rand non-current asset from which we run our operations, and we also hold it as an investment property for rental revenue generation. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, our efforts continue to be geared towards ensuring our existence so we can impact the social and economic patterns of the majority of the citizens of this country, so we can continue to push this transformation agenda. The BMF boasts a database of 10,152 individual members located in 35 branches nationally. However, the renewals hover between 40% and 60% of these numbers at each given year. The bulk of our members are concentrated in Gauteng at 52% and the rest in other provinces. The gender split is 35% female and 65% male, and more than 25% of our members earn between 800,000 and above R1 million. So, Program Director, you are actually right. We are the black middle class, and the BMF has made it possible. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very rich database, which we hope that most of you sitting here tonight will leverage upon through partnering with the BMF. It is through all of your support as our corporate members that we are able to continue to strengthen and develop South Africa's leaders and challenge head-on the leadership and transformation challenges confronting our economy. On the 5th to the 7th of October 2016, we will be having our annual conference and Achievement Awards Gala Dinner, and are banking on your support to make this event a success. In response to the need to fast-track efforts for total transformation of the economy, the BMF has established an SMME think tank to respond to this. After the passing of our former president, Dr. Lord Ndlovu, the BMF conceptualized the existence of the trust because of who Lord Ndlovu was to the BMF and the impact he made in our organization. Driven by his passion for transformation, before he stepped down as the BMF president, he donated money for the BMF to establish a bursary scheme to assist destitute university students. And it is in this light that the focus of the trust is to further this vision. The upcoming events which are aimed as fundraising initiatives are the annual Lord Ndlovu Memorial Golf Day, taking place on the 17th of August, and the annual Lord Ndlovu Lecture, to be delivered by Dr. Ruel Khoza on the 18th of August. The BMF, so maybe to summarize it, after I've spoken all of this that I've said, who are we and what is our positioning as the BMF? The BMF positioning is to be the trusted champion of socio-economic transformation and the developer of managerial leadership in South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the BMF continues to grow from strength to strength because of your unwavering support and unfaltering belief of the BMF mandate. So, please enjoy the evening, but then just remember that from next week, you will be getting calls from my office to set up appointments to come and see each and every organization represented here tonight. So I'll be asking for money as usual, so please don't ignore my calls. Thank you.